Hello, welcome to the dollhouse. I am the doll, and y'all, I just recorded this video that I'm about to re record and realized that it was indeed not recording at all. So I'm a little rusty. And for those of you who have been with me for a while, you know that it has been a while since I have posted. Um, I've been inspired because I noticed some more hypocrisy coming from the descendants of the formerly enslaved people of America, also known as Black people, also known as people of color, also known as African Americans. More hypocrisy. Um, I watched a movie earlier today called Mean Girls. It's a classic chick flick, came out in 2004, starring Lindsay Lohan, Rachel McAdams. And there were some references to the Black women in the school that the main character Lindsay was going to. And it caused me to reflect and make this video because the stereotype of Black women being unfriendly, it is persisting. And it persists for various reasons. In the movie, I'm going to go back to the movie. The movie is a comedy. It's actually really funny. And it's about Lindsay Lohan's character who is starting school for the first time. She's going to high school and she's new to school. She's trying to learn the ropes. Before she came to high school, she had been homeschooled by her parents because they traveled all over Africa. So there are a few scenes where she's trying to get acclimated to school. And there are just only a few scenes where Black characters are shown. In one of these scenes, she's being told where to sit in the lunchroom, who sits where. We've got the jocks over here, we've got the nerds over here, and then they flash to a group of Black students, 3 girls and 2 boys. And that label of unfriendly Black hotties was born because she greets the table in her normal bubbly manner, and then the students at the table all mean mug her. And unfortunately, it inspired some chuckles and it also ruffled some feathers. One of the reasons why it was funny is because it was true. And as they say, a hit dog will holler. One of the reasons why it inspired some controversy is because it's true. The unfriendly stereotype, it persists. And one of the reasons why it persists is because of things like Hillmantok. The hypocrisy that I'm going to talk about today is based on the concept of Hillmantok. Hillmantok is a TikTok trend, basically. And the TikTok trend of Hillmantok is Black creators, educators, professors, professionals getting together and creating courses that they teach for free on TikTok. There is a website that lists all the courses and gives you, a little bit more information. I believe probably times and all that. Um, but the thing that brought me to make this video today is the fact that these Black creators got together to create such a wonderful gift, but they kept up the mean girl, the unfriendly Black hottie facade by gatekeeping it from white people and being unfriendly, being unwelcoming, and really wanting to segregate. And this is one of the reasons why the stereotype of unfriendly Black hottie persists. And it's just kind of against any of the universal laws. It's just a gross energy. Um Laws of the universe, like the law of compensation, what you give is what you get back. It just goes against that working on behalf of Black women. the brand for Black femininity, for the femininity of formerly enslaved women here in the United States, it can be improved upon. And one of the ways is by not being racist. So the in hypocritical, not being racist, hypocritical, and unfriendly. Now back to Hillmantok. Okay. I know I'm probably all over the place, but Hillmantok is a TikTok trend where Black creators and educators have gotten together and they've shared courses. I'm going to share the student union page. Okay. Um, Hillmantok is it's now in, offering enrollment. You can enroll and take your classes on TikTok. Um, the woman who kind of kicked it off and inspired it was a professor, Black history professor at a university, who gave her, I guess, her syllabus, her course itinerary online on TikTok for her students, and then it just kind of went viral, and people were started joking like, "Hey, I want to enroll." And so this other woman, a sixth grade teacher, she kind of encouraged other creators to enroll in um to become professors at the university she founded online, this Hillmantot. So she encouraged people to be like the original creator, Dr. Barlow. And it started a trend where Black people were wanting to share information. Sounds all well and good. I'll share the article where it kind of explains more about it. Um, Hillmantok. This is on MSNBC. Hillmantok, TikTok's accidental university, taught by Black educators, is a hit with students. And there are courses on more than 400 subjects on Hillmantok. Okay. This is here in the middle is Dr. Barlow. She's the one who put her syllabus for her course, Intro to African American Studies, online, and it just kind of blew up from there. Other people started doing the same. And then another woman, this woman here, her name is Cosmic. She's the co-founder. That's not her real name. But her online name is Cosmic. And this is her. I'm going to show her. She's definitely, seems like a really sweet lady. Just doing something that she thought would really enhance the culture. And I believe that it is a good concept. Black creators sharing their expertise and experience and knowledge with the world for free sounds like a great idea. But there's some backlash because as soon as it started in January 2015, it started to fizzle. It started to fizzle. Even though it's getting a lot of press, it started to fizzle. And I believe one of the reasons why it started to fizzle is because of the unwelcoming attitude toward people of other races. The students of Hillmantok and even some of the professors of Hillmantok started to scold white students for having an interest in the courses or for participating vocally in the courses, or probably correcting some of the professors, which doesn't mean that they were right in correcting those professors, but probably being very vocal, challenging the information. So, it became a conversation with Black creators on Hillmantok about why white people should almost be excluded. And I feel like that is so hypocritical, especially among a group of people who, the 92%, who are champions of diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, DEI. The very same DEI that is being eliminated and people are whining about, the proponents of Hillmantok, the students and the professors, want to exclude other people. And it just seems like the brand of Black femininity would benefit from having a more welcoming attitude and from sharing its best people, educators, and their ideas with the world. It seems like a great way to do that. But instead, they'd rather gatekeep and shelter themselves from being exposed to other people and their ideas, people of other cultures and races, rather than, boldly sharing the information and welcoming other people. They fully embrace and help maintain the stereotype of the unfriendly Black hotties. Here's one of the educators talking about um, how white people should behave in Hillmantok. This is interesting to me. Listen to what she says.
This message is for all the white girlies that want to be a part of Hillmantok University but are feeling like they're not being welcomed or accepted. Come, hold my hand while I tell you this, okay? And I say this with all the grace in my heart as somebody that has grown up in predominantly white spaces all of my life. The reason you're feeling like that is because you don't know how to assimilate. And I get it. I get it. You've never had to because you've never been the minority in the room, right? So, for the rest of us, when we enter into other people's spaces, what we do is we remain quiet, we observe, and then we adapt and adjust. When you hear Black women talk about code switching, that's literally what it is. We are adapting and adjusting to the environment that we're in. And I get it. You guys have always had the privilege to show up as your whole self all the time. Okay. And what the feedback you're getting is not that Black women are intentionally kicking you out of their space or n- not welcoming you. It's the fact that you guys are coming in and you're being loud and very boisterous. And it's like, nah, pipe it down, pipe it down. This is our space. Okay. So you need to learn how to assimilate. You need to learn how to be quiet, how to observe, adapt, and then adjust. Okay. Love you. Bye.
Okay.
And I get it. You guys have always had the privilege to
I'm
show up as your whole self all the time. Okay.
so she's saying that they need to assimilate and not be as loud. Um they have had the privilege of showing up as their whole selves, and now maybe they need to show up as half themselves. I don't understand exactly what she means by that. Um, but I'm gonna play a little bit more of her video because I wanted to comment on something else that she says.
Okay. And what the feedback you're getting is not that Black women are intentionally kicking you out of their space or n- not welcoming you.
So on the contrary, Black women are intentionally being unwelcoming. Let's look at some of the proof of the attitudes about how Black people and Black women especially feel about white people and white women especially being in their so-called safe space. This is a group or a subreddit on Reddit called Ask Black People. And someone asked, how do you feel about Hillmantok and the presence of non Black people in the space? That is the general question. Okay. So we talked about how Hillmantok came to be. Dr. Barlow made an introductory video. Um, and then, this person is like, kind of feeling that zeitgeist energy of, hey, there's white people here. Hillmantok had blown up and there were white people there. So she wonders how other people feel about it. Now, the creator that we just listened to said that it's not that Black women are just unwelcoming. Listen to what some of these people are saying. I don't understand why white people would want to be there. It seems very odd to me that they somehow always come to Black spaces. Okay, that sounds a little unwelcoming. If I were to run across a white woman who was like, why did they always want to come to Cracker Barrel? I would not want to go back. I wouldn't feel welcomed at Cracker Barrel. Why do the exotical dolls always want to come to Cracker Barrel? Like, can't they do their own thing? I would feel unwelcome. So this is another commenter who says, I wish there was a way to keep it strictly black. Well, I would love to welcome whites. Would you? Would you really love to welcome whites? I doubt it. I also know for a fact that they are too sensitive and unable to live without being centered. One of them is going to feel excluded or to hear some hard truths and not like it and decide to get it banned or deleted. There are literally millions of places for them to go, but as soon as they hear this might not be for you, they rage. They are ill equipped with sitting quietly and listening through a course if they are already in an outrage because they hear it's not for them. I wish we had the Underground Railroad again, completely separate from them for certain topics. Okay. So, yeah, there's some discourse about how white people helped on the Underground Railroad. And then there's this other person, to keep it short and honest, I don't like it. We can't have SHIT. And the domain name was purchased by a non-black person, non-black people, and they have merch already. This is why we need to keep our stuff to ourselves. Okay, Hillmantok was created and purchased by non-black people. That sounds really, hey, it's like a missed opportunity. If I were in charge of that endeavor, I would have Hillmantok.com. You know, it just seems like the attitude is that they do not want other people of other cultures in that space, which seems to be quite hypocritical to me, especially since this is a Chinese app. TikTok and Hillmantok are, symbiotic. One, actually, they're not symbiotic. They kind of are, because apps like TikTok benefit from social communities like Hillmantok, and Hillmantok could not exist without TikTok, a Chinese app. Now, Chinese people have, in China especially, have had some questionable ideas on race. But the black creators have absolutely no problem, not any problems, using it to create Hillmantok. Um, One of the things that I noticed about Hillmantok is that some of the creators, professors and whatnot, are saying, "Oh no, our our viewership is going down." And I'm going to share a little bit of that because I found that to be interesting. Hillmantok. So I have there's some good, creators here. Let's see. I'm going to go back to the course list because that course list had this class. And this is kind of how the website looks. When you go on Hillmantok, you can go on and see, the courses that are available. And most of the creators, they are streaming live on TikTok. They probably wanted to do this to build up engagement on their channels. This professor is teaching Agile Project Management 101. I went to her page and this is what she had to say. So she's wondering where the creators are, where the students are. Her engagement has gone down. Now, mind you, Hillmantok was started in January of 2025. It's February. And she's saying that her engagement has gone down. This is also with the New York Times putting out an article about Hillmantok just a few days ago. MSNBC, like they're getting some press, but the engagement has gone down. Why do we think that the engagement has gone down? Perhaps it's because they have shunned members of the most populated group of people in America. Perhaps because they're not welcoming to people of other cultures and maybe even disparaging in some of them courses, disparaging of people of other cultures. Maybe because they're the unfriendly black hottie stereotype in the comment section. Let me go back to that. I want to see you know, what her page had to say about why she's not getting engagement. Let me go back to that because it was really interesting. So let's see what the comments had to say. She says, "Is it too late to join?" No, anyone can still join Hillmantok. Okay. Some of the commenters say, like, we are being shadow banned. I heard they were shadow banned. We're not seeing as many professors as before. Shadow ban is a really good excuse for why people aren't engaging with your content. There's so many different content creators that it seems to me that it would be impossible for them to be shadow banned, all of them anyway, because they're not even talking about the same topics. But okay, let's say the Hillmantok hashtag is being shadow banned. It seems counterproductive for an app like TikTok because when there's more engagement, there's more money to be made. You can identify your audiences more quickly. You can see, like, I don't see I'm not really sure. Perhaps TikTok is shadow banning, but it seems like they're getting a lot of support from the dominant culture and the traditional news sources. Why do I say this, do you ask? Because if you go to Google, just go to Google, which I'm going to do right now, and type in Hillmantok, you can see the news articles that have been published about it over the last few days. 3 days ago here. This one 14 hours ago, 3 days ago. New York Times 5 days ago, News One 13 hours ago. MSN 1 day ago, Refinery 29, NBC 3 days ago. On the second page for news, there's Essence 1 week ago, BET, Afrotech, MSN again 3 days ago, Black Enterprise 2 weeks ago. 2 days ago. There's more, more press. People are being driven to TikTok app. So I don't think that that's the reason why that engagement has gone down. It's possibly gone down because some of the people that you seek to exclude are like, okay, well, cool. You want to silence me? You don't want to hear my voice? You only want to be in your echo chamber? Okay, 92% support your businesses then. And women, ladies, the dolls, you need to know this. You will have a hard time if you are depending upon 13% of the population to cover you and carry you totally. And it just makes me wonder why people who want to segregate or people who really want to only experience one culture or one phenotype, melanated people, why don't they just go to countries where mostly everyone there is of African descent or of a certain culture? Because in America, we have the pleasure of interacting with people from many cultures and even mixing together. Like, this used to be widely accepted as a melting pot. But now we've got people who really just want to segregate. And maybe it's a response from feeling victimized. Um, but it's time to graduate from that energy. I had felt like that in the past myself. But once I really truly fully embraced the universal laws, things like the law of vibration, you know, the law of correspondence, as above, so below, I understood that the energy that I give out to the world and what I think about is what my reality becomes. And if I feel like white people are my enemy, they will manifest as my enemy in my waking life. The hypocrisy of trying to exclude people of other races from a Chinese app trend, it just seems very hypocritical and it seems counterproductive. It's stifling energy, it's inertia. It just doesn't make sense. It's the unfriendly Black archetype that I'm going to get into more in depth. It's that unfriendly Black archetype that keeps people from wanting to engage, from wanting to share information, from wanting to hire you. You seem like a real stick in the mud if you have this kind of energy. Yet you're going to have a hard time in life. You will not be able to social climb effectively. You can social climb in the NAACP or something like that, really a toothless organization, powerless organization. Maybe in the urban league you can excel, or in your, sorority fraternity. These very powerless organizations. Powerless because they don't really take a stance on anything. And the stance that they take, if they ever do take one, is mostly one of service, I'll say, helping people, not necessarily advocating or sharing ideas. You know, it seems to me like unfriendliness is not something that most women, especially the descendants of the formerly enslaved people, want to be associated with. Most people want to be considered as friendly or at least polite. Because sometimes I feel like people conflate being friendly with being polite. At least we want to have that energy of being polite. We can raise our vibration and our brand, and we'll have to do it individually. Here in the dollhouse, listen, I encourage you to exhibit politeness. You don't have to be so smiley or so flirty or so, extremely gung-ho, but at least having courtesy, kindness, grace, and politeness moving through society will get you a long way. At least having those traits uh is like the bare minimum. At least those traits, you know, that'll get you a long way. And the funny thing is that we have freedom of choice here in these great United States. So people, when they really like something, they gravitate toward it. There are aspects of Black culture, the ratchet parts, where everybody is welcome. People like Travis Scott is selling out stadiums around the world and causing earthquakes from all the white kids in his audience jumping up and down. But the more astute aspects of the bourgeoisie culture in Black America, they seek to kind of segregate and be stifling and not share their energy as freely. Of course, no wonder it's going to stagnate. It doesn't match the vibration of what you're trying to do, especially when there are other places where people can take free courses online. edX, Udemy, Coursera, LinkedIn Learning. There are places where Code Academy, there are places where people can go take courses online for free and maybe even get a certification. Why would they come to Hillmantok unless there was something in the culture, something that made it more entertaining? They want to support creators that are welcoming and share the culture. They want to get in touch with their, you know, other Americans, descendants of the formerly enslaved, and their slave masters. Like, we are a unique people, and we are very much brothers and sisters with the so-called white people of America. If not brothers and sisters, neighbors in real life. So why wouldn't you want to create an environment of politeness, at least courtesy, not the unfriendly black haughty energy that is going to continue to diminish the brand of femininity for the descendants of the formerly enslaved? It will be something that um, can prevent social climate. And it's really something that the dolls over here, we're not going to embrace that. So it will be something that separates you from us. You won't be like us. They're not like us. The unfriendly black hotties are not like us. You cannot sit with us. On Wednesdays we wear pink. You know, you wear the plaid skirt and do whatever you like. But over here in the dollhouse, we are polite, we are welcoming, we like to exhibit our beauty and our refinement to the world. Our ideas and thoughts matter. If not to us, uh, you know, then of course they won't matter to other people. But if they matter to us, they're worth sharing. And other people's ideas are also worth enjoying and absorbing, so that way we can collaborate and expand. That's what America should be about. Anyway, I love it here. And you can always segregate. You can always go to a different continent where people look more like you. It's just a plane ride away. Okay? So I hope this really made sense and that it struck a chord with some of you who may not realize, hey, I'm being a little bit hypocritical here. I want DEI, but I also want exclusion. And it's not a good feeling. The vibration is not a good one. The frequency is just not a very comforting frequency to be in. So come on into the dollhouse, girl. We'll dust you off, help you rebrand yourself. And I look forward to talking to you soon. So go ahead and just like the video, please. That's a way to engage. That's free. You don't have to subscribe. If you don't like it here, bye. But if you like the video, at least just go ahead and like the video, because it really encourages me to make more. So I hope to talk to you soon, dolls. Enjoy the rest of your day.